Hey lads, when I first started investing and doing my research on how I should go about it, the word diversification came up a lot. Investing in an index or a market tracking ETF is a safe and steady way to invest and grow your wealth. However, good old Daddy Buffett, I love how
I love the phrasing. You guys are killing it on the phrasing of your questions. This is fantastic.
This is beautiful. However, good old Daddy Buffett, he said, if you know how to invest in wonderful businesses, owning 3 of those is all you need to do very well. So what are your thoughts on only owning 1 to 3 businesses that you know inside and out and have a very strong conviction in?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with old Daddy Buffett. He's right. You do only need 1, 2, 3 businesses, like really killer investments, and you will be fine. The thing that people forget about that saying is that Buffett's also of the opinion that, over your whole investing career of 40, 50 years, he's kind of the opinion that you should imagine you've got a punch card and it's got 20 punches in it. And those punches represent investments you can make. And once you've made all 20, then that's it. Your punch card, that's it. That's your investing career. So he is very much of the opinion just to wait and wait and wait, keep researching and wait and just keep waiting until you find the investment that is absolutely just in the zone. It is, it inside and out. You've done all the research. It's a killer business. It's got a massive moat. Long-term the growth looks fantastic. And some short-term event that's barely even relevant to this business has just sent the shares down by 90%. Then it's just like, holy smokes, I've waited 10 years for this opportunity, but I've finally got it. And if you find those, then 1, 2, 3 businesses is all that you need. And it does come down to your understanding the business. You just have to know it inside and out to find those opportunities. But at the same time, if you don't feel confident in finding those opportunities, or you're not 100% sure that this is a killer opportunity for the long term, then that's okay. Like, it doesn't matter if you studied the way that Warren Buffett goes about it and you understand, this is a great strategy, but honestly, I don't think I'm interested enough in the stock market to be able to wait and know enough about these companies to dive into 1 or 3 or 5 over my entire lifetime, or whatever, or 20 over my entire lifetime, then it's fine just to go diversification and be a passive investor. There's no shame in doing that. In fact, in many ways, I admire people that acknowledge that, I think that passive investing is the right strategy for me. I definitely admire people that say that, and it's a great strategy, and Buffett himself recommends it, and it does very well over the long term. So I think that there are, I agree with both schools of thought. Diversification, ETF investing, go for it if that's the way you want to do it. I also agree with Buffett how you should, diversification is protection against ignorance kind of thing. And you could own 1 or 3 businesses. I mean, that's a perfectly valid business as well, but you have to make sure you're on top of the investments you make.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I think I certainly agree with Buffett that if you find, a couple of wonderful businesses and get them at great prices, then, your portfolio will do extremely well over time. But the key word in there is, if you know how to invest in wonderful businesses. And I think for the vast majority of people, and Buffett agrees with this, going broad into market tracking ETFs is probably going to be the best outcome. I don't think there's really a middle ground. It's either you completely step away from the market and be a passive investor, or you're willing to dedicate a significant amount of time and research to finding good investments. If you're in the middle, you're probably going to do worse than if you just use the market tracking index. So, for the vast majority of people, I think that makes sense. And that might seem strange from somebody who has a channel that's talking all about individual businesses and individual analysis and Warren Buffett's principles. But it's not really. I mean, my channel is for the small percentage of people who want to analyze individual businesses, and I think the advice for everybody else is relatively straightforward. So that's kind of where I sit. But if you're certainly somebody, and I think there would be a higher percentage of people listening to this and watching our channels that would fall into the bucket of someone who is willing to put in the work to analyze individual businesses, then. I think you can certainly outperform the market, and certainly possible for you to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Yeah, I think it's just much more a matter of emotion as opposed to being super smart. I think that's really the key to beating the market is just having the emotional
temperament.
Yeah, having the temperament just to be able to understand what to do and when to do it.